Okay, so let's get started here. We'll look at how we can make use of code coverage and test reports with IntelliJ. So let's go ahead and run our test with code coverage. So up in the top right, we select the menu option here, Run Demo Utils Test with Coverage. Once the tests are complete, it'll show the coverage report. And expand this window here for a bit. So we see the actual package, the actual class, and then the method. 90% of the methods are covered, and 95% of the lines are covered. And now let me zoom out a bit, and we can actually look at the code and see what's covered. If I move over to my Demo Utils class, we see that 95% of the lines are covered. And I can move down a bit. So in the gutter here, green means this section's covered, and then red means it's not covered. So these items are covered. And if we move down here to the multiply method, we see that it's red. So that means that it's not covered. This means that we don't have a unit test that covers the multiply method. We can also generate the coverage report. So this will actually generate some HTML pages that we can look at outside of the browser. So I just choose the option here, Generate Coverage Report. I give the location for where they should generate the HTML pages. So in my project directory, I'll just have a folder called Coverage Report. You can give it any name. It'll create the folder for you. Also, be sure to check the box to open the generated HTML in the browser. Once you hit save, the browser pops open with your coverage report. Right, so this is outside of the IntelliJ IDE, just a separate HTML page. We can see the similar data here. And then we can select the given item. And then we can move down into this Demo Utils class. And then it'll show the actual coverage. So here, green lines means that it's covered. Red means that it's not covered. So we're basically seeing the same information that we saw in the actual IDE, just showing it in a different view here with HTML. Now let's go ahead and add a test for this method multiply so we can increase our coverage. I'll move back into my test class and I'll create this new test method for testing multiply. Then I do the normal work here, just assert equals. And I'll have the expected value of 12. I'll call demo utils multiply 4 comma 3. So we're multiplying 4 times 3. That should give us 12. And that's the coding here for this new test method. So let's go ahead and run our unit test. Make sure the test pass. And we have this new test here called multiply. Yep, so the test passes. Okay, that's awesome. Let's run it with coverage. The test run again. And then we can go and look at the coverage report. So now we can see that for method is 100% covered and also lines are 100% covered. And also looking at the coding here, we see that multiply is covered. So it has a green item in the gutter there. So we're A-okay. This looks really good. I like it. I can also generate this external report again. Zooming out, and we see the same type of data that we saw in the IDE. And then we can also drill into the class demo utils. And then we'll see that the multiply method is covered. This looks really good. Earlier, I mentioned that the 100% coverage is really hard to attain. We were able to attain the coverage here because this is a very simple class, but in the real world, you may not be able to attain 100% coverage just due to the complexity of your classes and so forth. So again, depending on your group, but 70 to 80% coverage is normally acceptable. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and look at generating test reports using IntelliJ. I can move down here, expand my window a bit, and select the option to export test results. And then I can specify the export format. I'll choose HTML, and then I'll move down here to the folder section. I'll give the folder name of unit test results. You can give any name that you want. It'll automatically create the folder for you. And also check the option here to open the exported file in the browser. And then it'll open up those test results right here in the web browser. So again, we're seeing the same thing that we see from the IDE. We can simply view it in an external web page outside of the IDE. Okay, this looks really good. Good job.